The first day of the annual fishing competition was almost upon them, and although the old man Santiago had caught nothing in the previous 5 days, his hopes were high. He told the boy Manolin that today was gonna be the day, but how true were those words? Let's find out as we continue reading The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. In the early morning, before the sun rose, Santiago woke up. The sky was dark and full of stars. He loved this hour, when the village was quiet and the sea whispered in the distance. He put on his old trousers, picked up his coil of lines, and stepped outside his small hut. The boy, Manolin, was already waiting for him. He carried food wrapped in paper gift for Santiago. "Here, old man. Some black beans, rice, and a little coffee," he said proudly. Santiago accepted it gratefully. "You are good to me, boy. I will need my strength today." The boy helped him carry the lines, gaff, harpoon, and the sail, which was patched many times and looked like the flag of defeat. But Santiago carried it with pride, for he believed the sail would take him to his destiny. As they walked toward the harbor, they passed other fishermen preparing their boats. Some greeted Santiago with respect, while others looked at him with pity. Santiago ignored both. He knew what he must do. They reached the small wooden skiff, Santiago's boat. It was old but seaworthy. The boy loaded the gear carefully, arranging the lines in neat coils so they would run freely when needed. "Can I come with you?" Manolin asked. "You are with a lucky boat now," Santiago replied. "Stay with them. I will manage alone. But when I catch the big one, you will help me carry it back." The boy's eyes shone. "I believe in you, old man." They sat together for a moment on the dock, sipping the warm coffee from tin cups. The air smelled of salt and tar, and the sea waited silently. Santiago looked at the horizon. 85 is my number," he said. "Today, I will go far out. Farther than the others dare to go." The boy nodded. "You always go too far." Santiago smiled. "That is where the big fish live." When the stars began to fade and the first light of dawn touched the water, Santiago pushed his boat away from the shore. The boy held the rope for a moment, then let go. "Good luck, old man," Manolin said softly. "Good luck," Santiago answered, though he believed luck was only part of the story. Skill, patience, and endurance mattered more. The boat moved smoothly over the calm water. Santiago rowed with steady arms, feeling the rhythm of the oars. He listened to the sounds of the sea, the splash of fish, the cries of seabirds, the gentle slap of waves. He felt at home. As he rowed, he thought about his life. He remembered when he was young and strong, when he had sailed to Africa and seen lions playing on the golden beaches. He remembered storms, battles with giant fish, and long nights on the open sea. He was old now, but his spirit was not broken. By sunrise, he was far from the shore. He could no longer see the lights of the village. The sea stretched wide and endless around him. Other boats had stopped closer in, but Santiago kept going. He wanted to be alone where no one else dared to fish. At last, he stopped and prepared his lines. He baited them carefully with fresh sardines and lowered them into the deep blue water at different depths. He worked with the precision of a master, for he believed that exactness brought luck. Then he sat back, holding the line gently between his fingers, feeling every movement below. He waited, patient as always. The sun climbed higher, and the sea shone like glass. The old man thought of the boy and smiled. "He has hope," Santiago whispered to himself. "It is good for a man to have hope. Without it, he is nothing." All morning he waited. Small fish tugged at the bait, but he ignored them. He was looking for something greater, something worthy of all his strength. By noon, the heat was strong and sweat ran down his back, but Santiago did not complain. He kept his eyes on the sea, his hands ready, his heart steady. He was prepared for the great test. Far out, a bird circled over the water. Santiago watched it carefully. "Where the bird circles, there are fish," he said aloud. His eyes followed the movement, and deep inside, he knew that soon his moment would come. Then Santiago saw the first sign, a sudden tugging on his line. He waited a moment, then slowly began to pull. A large fish was taking the bait. The old man smiled, knowing that this was only the beginning. This was the moment he had been waiting for, the chance to prove himself once again. With steady hands, he continued pulling, feeling the strength of the fish as it fought against him. It was a powerful opponent, but Santiago was not giving up. The line sang as it cut through the water, leading the fish towards the surface. Slowly but surely, the old man gained ground. He knew this was just the first round of a much longer battle. The fish was far from tired, and it still had the energy to fight. But Santiago was prepared. He was ready for the long haul. As the minutes ticked by, Santiago's determination grew. He was focused solely on the task at hand, on the fight with the powerful fish. Nothing else mattered. In his mind, he was locked in a battle with a creature of immense strength and power, and he was determined to win. Every tug, every pull, every moment of rest was a step closer to victory. Santiago was not just fighting for himself. He was fighting for all the old men who had ever been doubted, for all those who had been told they were too old to chase their dreams. He was proving them wrong, one pull at a time. The old man's face was creased with concentration as he continued to reel in the fish. The setting sun cast long shadows on the water, signaling the end of another day. Santiago's heart sank as he realized that the fish was still not tired. It had been over an hour since the first tug, and the fight was far from over. Fatigue began to set in, but Santiago refused to give up. He knew that if he did, he would lose everything. So he gritted his teeth and continued to pull, hoping for a miracle. Suddenly, a dolphin jumped out of the water beside the boat as if to encourage the old man in his struggle. Seeing the dolphin, Santiago felt a surge of determination. He knew he couldn't give up. He had to keep fighting for himself, for Marlin, and for the love of the sea. With renewed vigor, he continued to reel in the fish, determined to bring it home. As the darkness of night began to fall, Santiago's hope started to dwindle. The fish was still not tired, and the old man was exhausted. He had been at sea for over 85 days, longer than he had ever been away from land. Homesickness washed over him, and for a moment he considered giving up the fight and returning empty-handed to the village. But then he thought of Marlin and the disappointment that would be etched on the boy's face if Santiago came back without a catch again. No, he couldn't give up now. He had to keep trying until the very end. And so the old man continued to battle with the fish, his muscles aching and his spirit waning. But still he fought on, refusing to yield to fatigue or despair. As the night wore on, Santiago felt a sense of peace wash over him. He had done everything he could. Now it was up to the fish. If it wanted to tire him out, it would have to try harder. The old man closed his eyes, surrendering to the rhythm of the waves and the tugging of the line. He knew that the fish was still out there, testing his resolve, waiting for him to falter. But Santiago was ready. He was ready to endure, to wait, and most importantly, to keep hope alive. So that's gonna bring our reading of Chapter 2 to a close. We've got links to purchase the full text in the description below, as well as links to other videos we think you might enjoy. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching.